Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem.
Happy Sunday, everybody, and welcome to the Big T today. It is day 6 of our race meet here at Timonium, the Maryland State Fair, 6th day of 7. We do this today, 12:10 first post. We do it tomorrow one more time, Labor Day Monday. So get yourself out to Timonium. Going to be another Chamber of Commerce day here in Maryland. A perfect day to go to the races. Got a fun little 8-race card on tap today. And Dave, yesterday we had a big day, and I'm going to start with the most important thing. 5 pies got eaten.
Oh, yeah. Five?
5. We had 5 contestants in our pie eating contest. Yes.
Was this a professional pie eater stand-in? Or I kind of saw that watching it on TV between races, but the test cleared. I mean, everything was good.
I don't know. Heiss is weighing in on this. There might have been too many crop strikes. But, and the 3 gentlemen who were involved took it quite seriously. They really gave those pies a licking.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. There were various flavors, or did they
No, it was all apple.
All apple.
All apple.
If you didn't like apple, you're out of luck.
They tried to get trainer Anthony Ferrier in. He said, "I hate pie." So he would not do it. But anyway, that was exciting for us. We had a 9-race card yesterday. Yedsit Hazelwood, jockey Yedsit Hazelwood won 3. He now has 9 wins on the meet. Carlos Lopez, Jorge Hernandez, Arnaldo Boca Chica won 2 each. Lopez is next. He's got 6 wins. Boca and Hernandez 5 each. Jorge Hernandez 5 for 9 at the meet.
Yeah, a lot of jocks having good meets here. Yedsit with a pretty nice lead over Carlos Lopez. The trainer stats a little tighter, though, as Jose Corrales is 1 behind Anthony Ferry. Hugh McMahon with that late double yesterday.
Yes,
one horse I didn't like, the other horse I love. So there you go.
Right.
Anyway, Genie in a Bridle, another solid win on a short rest. We were just talking about horses coming back. Ran last weekend, coming back this weekend. There you go.
Yeah, and that was no horses did it last year. There were horses that did it the prior year. So first time in 2 years we've had.
And Skip Through the Fire last week or yesterday. Skip Through the Fire ran last week too, I believe. Yeah, loved him last week. Didn't pick him 1, 2, 3, 4 this week, and then he aired. That's the horse that was 5 wide.
Right.
9-1.
Right. So.
Oh well.
But we did love that horse in the last race, and I think at the, when they hit the turn, I would have said there's 0% chance he can beat the horse to his outside, Bernie the Star.
But then Bernie's Bernie. And Bernie did his Bernie thing.
Yeah, kind of couldn't get off the left
switched
lead.
off on that left lead late. And but yeah, good battle though between those two, basically the favorites in the race. Wished for a little higher price, but winner's a winner. Hopefully by the end of the day that helps somebody get that late pick 5 as a single. Anyway, I like the card today.
Yeah, and very light scratches, so most of these races are fully intact, which I think makes our lives easier, but makes for much better betting.
I did not have to change a single pick from the originals last evening, so the first race is at a mile, and we only have one scratch in there, and that's overly critical.
Yeah, so take out overly critical. 9-5 morning line favorite is the 2-horse Solomon's Gold, and then you got Morning Thoughts is 2-1, Dave. Which way you going here?
Pudge Boy Palace. Here's a horse that ran last week at the Big T. Comes back. Needed that race. I picked him last week, thinking he would.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you got to do pick 5
let me jump
first.
In. Yeah. I did a pick 5, and I still can't remember that I did a pick 5.
And you don't have my horse in the first.
I do not.
Oh, come on.
I go 3-2-2 and a single in the 4th race. My single. I'm going to eat the chalk in that race. That is the 3-horse Sagrada Rey in the 4th race. This race, I go 1-2-6. Well, I use the 1, 2, and 6. I go 6, 1, 2, and 5 here. But you got the 5 on top.
You sure you don't want to throw in the 5?
You're making me a little nervous. And what would that do? 4, 8, 16, 32. You could do it for just another $4. Maybe it's worth it.
Okay. I'll give you the 4. I'll loan you the $4.
Okay. Well, if you're going to loan me the 4, that's going to make this a lot easier for me. And I'll give it back to you out of my winnings.
If you're worried about a budget. All right.
So tell me about Pudge Boy Palace.
Oh, okay. Ran last week. Liked him last week. Thought he'd be closer to the pace. Was pretty far back in the early stages of the race and going into the heading into the far turn. I just didn't think he was going to fire at all, and he appeared late on the scene, very late in the final yards, and was really charging best of them all behind Mr. Moxon Beach Cowboy. Swung out rally. You see the short comment. He's going to be much tighter this time around, I do believe, off that one race off a time away, and that race behind Amity Road and Holy Synchronicity 3 back puts him right there. As a matter of fact, makes him a winner. I'll loan you the $4. Put him on your ticket.
Yeah, I landed on the 6 here. Morning Thoughts is my top selection. This one's been facing better, and these starter tries, these last couple against Ozone, Ozone's very good. Ozone has been killing Starter Company up at Charlestown of late. So this is a notable class drop. Last time this one saw nickel claimers, won nicely with a 72 buyer 3 races ago. A return to that race probably wins in here. That's my theory.
Yeah, I mean, he's consistent. He's got good numbers. He's kind of like a horse to me that when he runs up right up there, he really, really needs to follow through. Sometimes he just doesn't do that, right? So that's my main concern about Morning Thoughts. But, yeah, they're pretty close. Pudge Boy Palace, Morning Thoughts. I picked them 1-2. But off that big finish last week on the 5, I got to use them on top.
All right, Dave's going 5, 6, 1, 3. I'm going 6, 1, 2, and 5 there. But Dave is, and you heard it, Dave's going to loan me the $4 to fatten up my pick 5 and get that horse home.
I have 2 $2 bills. So did you take
Jack
that?
Harmon give them to you?
Yeah, yes.
All right.
I saw like a bunch of them in the press box yesterday.
Yeah. I think they're Mike Harmon's, actually.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, apparently he's got a time machine, and he went back to 1976.
The coffee can in the backyard from all the years ago.
Yes.
All right.
Who knows what you might see at the racetrack. Let's head to race 2 here. 5,000 never win 2 claimers going a half mile, 4 furlongs here at the Big T. Everybody's in, no scratches here, so this field remains intact. Your morning line favorite at 4-5 is Not So Holy for Danny McKenzie, Xavier Perez in the irons. Also, another thing this horse is not your top selection.
No, I mean, off since May, that's the big question. But I'm going to pick a horse who was buried last time out at Delaware Park by 37 lengths and got a -0 buyer number, but had a bit of an excuse. I thought in the race he was kind of playing around a little bit. Watched the replay just before the start. he got off to a start, but he was kind of shuffling his front hooves around in the starting gate. Then they were off, and by that time he was back there and then 5 wide on a day. It looked like speed was doing pretty well. And the winner of the race, English Daddy, 112 flat. That was a faster time than a non-winners of 3 on the same card. So I got a feeling you can draw a line through the race. You look at his other 2 races since transferring there or being claimed from Canada into Justin Nixon's barn, Canadian himself, and they're pretty good. So willing to excuse that race. And with a sharp break, I think Isano will be a tough customer today going a half mile. And you got to have a sharp break going a half mile.
You got to have a sharp break going a half mile. No, I agree. I used that horse in second, and I went back and watched that race as you did, and that was just kind of one of those, the horse no-showed. It just wasn't his day. I'm inclined to just forgive it and say he can get back to those better efforts. Now, the 2 horse not so holy, I want to talk about for a minute here for Danny McKenzie, Xavier Perez up. This one, as you said, hasn't raced in a couple of months, was running pretty well back in April and May, was second last out in a pretty good effort. The 5th place finisher that day came back to win. Notably, this horse has 3 works in the meantime, including a bullet half mile on August 2nd. Its fastest of 50, it was 3/5 of a second faster than any other horse that day working at Laurel. So seems to be working in a positive way. Certainly a return to that form when he last raced is going to put him right there.
Yeah, and my buddy Mike Baca down in Virginia, a longtime friend of mine from New Orleans. His wife makes great red beans and rice. She's from there. This is one thing he always said, always look out for the 5 furlong work. He's a big fan of the 5 furlong work. And this horse has it August 16th, minute 3, 2/5. I'm not looking at the actual time and judgment, but he does like that 5/8 work as a big tightener, especially after time away from the races.
Yeah, he'll certainly be fit enough to go 5 furlongs. You'd think. You're also using Villaluz underneath for Corrales and Hazelwood. Yeah. Second off the bench, second in a week.
Had trouble last time out, finished well, steady twice in the race after the trouble here at Timonium, back in a week. Half mile might be a little too short, maybe a lot too short for him because he doesn't have a whole lot of early speed, but you get the leading rider, you get a hot trainer, second leading trainer, leading rider on a horse that comes back in a week after trouble. I've seen things happen, and if the pace falls apart, it may be kind of an optical illusion close. Here comes Villaluz maybe to pick up something in the race.
All right, Dave's going to go 6-5, 2-1 in the second. I'll go 2-6, 3-5. On to race 3. These are maiden 12-5s, also going a half mile here. Again, 1 turn, morning line favorite. Head of the class, he's evenly money here. I'm going to try to beat this horse here, Dave. What about you?
Yeah, so am I. Look at this horse's short comment lines. Caught, drifted, rushed, tired, rushed inside, check. I mean, I follow this horse all through Laurel. Seems to come up with an excuse every time. 3 seconds, 3/3 from 11 starts. Is the 12th time the charm to put it together with a trouble-free trip. I'm willing to go your way here with Star of Abraham off the effort on July 11th. At Delaware Park. I thought that race was good enough, and a race run in 58 3/5 of a second. I don't know what to do with a 5/8 kind of race at Delaware. It's a little hard to tell. Comparative fractions were okay. It wasn't anything dazzling for the 46-1, but it's not a distance that's run that often, really. So he does have speed. I think he can have the speed here going a half mile at Timonium and kind of picking against a horse who's a long-time maiden.
I do want to point out for the record, Dave, this is 2 races in a row where your top selection got a -0 Beyer last time.
That's good. That's a good sign. But it's the dog figs that count.
And what do the dog figs tell us?
The dog fig says Star of Abraham has a 56 with a bullet, and head of the class has a 69 with a bullet.
That doesn't seem like
a good sign. It doesn't seem like I should be picking this horse on top, does it? But I just seen head of the class. I've just seen have too many excuses. I mean, Yeah, go ahead, use them. I mean, I'm just going for price here. Price, I think.
No,
price,
you got to look for value.
Price in the 5.
I mean, that is what we do in racing. If you're going to bet on races, you're trying to find value. You're trying to find horses that are going to pay more than they ought to. And so
another long-time maiden here, a Northern Cardinal horse with a chance. The 1. You've got him on the bottom. I got him 3rd. Comes from turf to dirt for you, McMahon. Ran
Red hot Jorge Hernandez.
Off a time away, a horse who was a long-time maiden. They ran for the waiver. All right, so
yeah,
they kind of like has speed on the turf, and that speed just may translate.
Yeah,
just may translate to the
has
dirt.
Run some not terrible races on the main track as well.
Lopez had 2 calls. He went ahead of the class, but he often rides there for Kieran. Hugh McMahon goes to Jorge Hernandez, having a great meet, as you mentioned, 5 wins already.
All right, that's race 3. No,
we ought to mention Doug's Triumph.
Oh, yeah, first-time starter that scratched.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
2 Doug's Triumph has been entered multiple times this week. This is the spot he chooses. He tried to run last week, but he ran off in the post parade. Very elusive. He was tough to catch. He was out there. He must have gone like 3 miles.
So he's going to be dead fit for this.
He's fit. And he was fast enough to beat the ponies.
So there's
our outriders ponies a couple times.
He is by Irish War Cry, who's kind of an average first out sire, but he's a half to a horse that won first time out and a horse that won second time out. So a little bit of win early in the pedigree.
And that was for maiden 16 last week, going a half mile, and here he is for that 12.515 tag, going a half mile. But watch him on his behavior. Hopefully he'll get to the gate today, and we'll see what kind of talent, if any, he has.
All right, let's turn to race 4. Dave and I both going with 4 and 5 in the 3rd. In race 4, we've got 5,000 beaten claimers going 2 turns, 6.5 furlongs. Field of 7. Field remains intact. Morning line favorite going to be 3. This is my single in the pick 5, Sagrada Rey. Carlos Lopez going to be in the irons. He's one of our top riders here. He's currently 2nd. Kieran McGee, the trainer there. Dave, I think you're going elsewhere, though. Am I right about that?
Yeah, and I had to do a double take because the horse I pick's 30-1 in the morning line, but does get the leading rider, and that is number 5, Gabriel 7. I was wide, all over the map in this race, but Yedza chooses he's on this horse. They reached out to him after 2 races at Charlestown where he had trouble. And
we also have a ticket we want to talk about.
Mackenzie's pick 5. Sorry.
I'm doing a terrible job this morning. Way to go, me. Mackenzie
You'll get a memo on that.
I will ignore it.
You did a terrible job. Don't do it again.
I certainly won't. Right. We got a pick 5 for Mackenzie Pfeiffer. She'll be joining us this afternoon. She goes 2 and 3 in this race. She goes 2-2-3-2 and a single in the nightcap. Her single is going to be Kissling for Kieran McGee in race 8, J.D. Acosta. So that is her ticket. That's a $12 ticket. We'll be talking about that as the racing goes on. But, Dave, back to your comments on the 4th race.
Okay, yeah, Hazelwood goes to the 5 here, is chosen to ride the 5. A little trouble, a lot of trouble last 2 races at Charlestown. Has some issues, obviously, but going back to some of the races in the winter at Charlestown, good enough figures, I think, to try to show some speed and outgas them early. In number 5, Gabriel 7.
So, Dave, I want to ask you this. You basically have to forgive 5 races in a row for this horse to get to him?
Well.
And I just want to I want you to talk a little bit about the thought process.
4.5 thought process. Are you kidding me?
There's no thought process. There are dog figs.
Okay. 4.5. Is that a good enough reason?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Sloppy track. Excuse. First race after a couple of months away. Excuse.
Okay.
But if you go back to the February 21 race, for example, behind Nancy Made My Day. I like that. Beat Mongateau. He's okay. Was okay. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I know.
No,
it's
no,
reaching
that's
on
right.
the way back, but
I'm
without
trying to help
loving
the betting public understand why we do the things we do, Dave.
Okay. Well, that's about the best excuse I can make up. There.
My top choice here going to be Sagrada Rey, the 3-horse. This one dropping out of 10,000 down to 5 for Kieran McGee. McGee's got a 29% strike rate on a similar drop, which is quite good. And the winner of that last race, and this horse ran okay in there. Style Me Royal came back to win a first-level allowance quite easily. So I think that's a good effort, and I'd argue maybe even better than it looks.
I like your last point about Style Me Royal. On the other hand, Brother Conway dropped in for the tag yesterday. You see where that got me.
Yeah, that was not good.
No, so there you go.
Not good. All right.
So, I mean, I thought maybe perhaps a little vulnerable here. Yeah, his old races certainly would more than do in this spot, but I'm a little worried about the drop concern there.
You got Cloud Music in your exacta for Gorham and Matty Rowland?
Sure, that horse figures too, off Delaware races, and has early zip. I mean, he may be really the one to try to contest with Gabriel 7 up front. Sagrada Rey, I mean, has he passed a horse?
Oh, you want to use things like that.
And with Cloud Music in here.
He passed several back in April and made the lead and then finished second, so that's suboptimal.
I don't know. That's what was confusing about. Okay, so here comes Southern Horse, a 10-year-old, hasn't won since Hector was a pup, since August 2024 at LAD on the turf in a different barn. But I thought he looked great on the racetrack last time out when running second to Kernus, and he's coming back in a week. Hasn't won in a long time, but he's beaten better way, way, way in the past, and it is Corrales. He might be the one to come rolling late in this spot. I mean, I would almost expect a little more than 3-1 on him, but you may not get that. If you can get 4 or 5-1 on Southern Horse, I think he's live.
All right, we should probably
I
head
just had
to,
no, yeah, but I just had
here, Dave.
no strong opinion there.
All right, Dave's going 5, 2, 1, and 3. I'm going 3, 2, 6, and 7. Let us get a word from our sponsor.
At Toyota's national sales event, we've got a long lineup of vehicles for summer fun, like Camry, RAV4, Grand Highlander, BZ4X, Tundra, Corolla Hybrid, Tacoma, Sienna, Corolla Hatchback, Sequoia, Prius, RAV4 Hybrid, Land Cruiser, GR Supra, Toyota Crown, Ford.
Buy a sporty Camry with special financing as low as 4.99%. Or get low APR financing on a stylish new Corolla sedan or hatchback.
Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Do you have $6 on you? You have
No,
$6.
I need your $4, but you got to pick 4. You want to?
Yeah,
is it a $6 play?
It's a $6 ticket.
How
I have
great
a
is
pick
that?
4 starting in this race. We don't have a graphic for you, but it's so simple that you can just almost memorize it.
There it is. I'm looking at it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's simple. You're not lying.
In the 5th race, my pick 4 starts with a 6 as a single. In the 6th race, a 2-5-6. 2-5-6 in the 6th. 7th race, use the 2-4. 8th race, use the 2-5. So 6 with 2-5-6 with 2-4 with 2-5 at $6.
$6.
You didn't want to use my horse in the first pick 5.
Well, you're lending me the $4
I'll lend
to
you the
play
4.
it, but
So-
I got to lend you 6 back.
Yeah, but it'll be too late because the 5th race will not be completed by the time you owe me the 6. You'll owe me the 6.
I feel like we've stumbled into Laurel and Hardy territory here.
I do too. All right.
Let's head to
I
race
do like
5.
Stellar's in Charge as my key in the pick 5 and the single.
The 5th race is a 5,000 beaten claimer. 4 furlongs. You have 1 scratch in this race. The 5-horse Rocking to Home is out. Your top choice can be Stellar's in Charge. The 6-horse for Farrier and Boca Chica. I got that horse 3rd. You're singling on this one, right?
Yeah, I think so. At a half mile, I think this horse is the speed of the speed in here. I know your horse has some speed, Swift Tap. I mean, I like him. I picked him 2nd. But I just think that Stellar's in Charge by the time they reach the Ferris Allen wheel will have a daylight lead.
Yeah, and I said in my notes on Swift Tap, I mean, I think he's obviously a major player. I wouldn't go too crazy on the odds, though, because he has been the beaten favorite this last couple. So I would advise some caution there. So 6-3-2-8 for Dave.
22, 45 and 4. Charlestown last time out. 51 and change final time. Was comparable to the very next race, a starter, optional claiming 10,000. I thought a much tougher field. So I thought the times were good overall, and he's quick. So single.
Single. You're now okay, single. Dave says single. I do not, but that and a quarter will get you nothing. All right, let's head to race 6 now. Race 6 is one of our sort of co-features here. We got a couple of Maryland restricted allowances on the docket. This is the first of them, going 6.5 furlongs, 2 turns. We've got a field of 6. You want to take out the 1A, TikTok Daddy. TikTok Daddy, the 1A is out. Otherwise, we got everybody right back at you.
What a trip last week for Daddy Yankee, my top pick. I didn't pick him last week, but that race was super sharp. He comes back, angled to the rail heading into the far turn, brushed and bumped up against the rail, didn't bother. Tice Lapastina with a bold move through on the inside. Granted, inside, but now he's a little farther out, going 6.5, but I'm sticking with the sharp horse, right? I mean,
he's razor sharp. The question is, can he replicate that?
If
he does it again, he wins.
As was said about Genie and a Bridle. See what happened there.
My picks are in error here. I actually made a late change to him because I didn't realize there was a coupled entry. So I'm actually going 4-6-2-5. So I've got your 6 second. I got the 4 Pay Zone first. This one snapped an 8-race losing streak last time out. Has some better efforts to run back to. I felt like to see Boca Chica remain on this horse, and was cross-entered yesterday. Passes on that race to come here. Might be speed of the speed.
Okay, yeah. So you think he's going on the front, right? Well, that's fine. Daddy Yankee doesn't really love that lead. Claudia Boy stays in the race, part of that entry. Payzone's got speed. What's the other horse? The interesting horse to me that might flash up there and try to contest your horse is Cativa Ragazzo. On the way back has really a good number behind Spike Zone in a real tough race. Hasn't quite been able to put it together in 3 starts in 2025. But again, a couple of excuses there. Turf, sloppy track. I thought he should have run a little bit better against Plausible Denial 2 back in the form when he was a beaten favorite.
Yeah, I mean, he's a horse that flashed a lot of talent early on. Hasn't quite delivered on it. I mean, he's not bad, but if he can get back to what you saw from his 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th starts, he's going to be awfully tough in here. Gary Capuano had a winner for Pinnacle Partners, I believe, yesterday or the day before. So.
All the hard ways. Might want to see one. Again, there's another horse who's run with good ones. Pay Billy, Barbadian Runner. But it's been off since February. This kind of layoff for this particular barn, not a super strong point, but a very interesting race. A lot of ways to go in this spot. A sharp horse, a horse off a layoff, a horse who's super sharp with early speed. Your top pick as well.
Lots of ways to go. I go 4-6. Dave goes 6 and 5. Heading to race 7. This is our co-feature. This is another Maryland restricted allowance, going 6.5 furlongs. You're going to take out the 5-horse. Straight to Water is a scratch. Everybody else remains in. And I didn't use him, but, man, the Wolfman's a cool horse.
Yeah, the Wolfman is a cool horse. 11 wins, 7 years old now. Bounced around barn to barn, reclaimed the Schenkel barn, you see, if you go way back on the form. But there's another horse, El Divino Nino, I think, who's going to give him a little bit of trouble. That's my top pick. You went with Square Slice from the Clasaris barn.
I feel
kind
like
of a stranger, a newcomer to Timonium.
I feel like this is a race with a number of speed horses, and this one is going to be running at the end because that's what he does. So makes 3rd start off the bench. He's pretty lightly raced. He's a 4-year-old with just 10 career starts, so he still has some upside. I feel like the flow of the race should work in his favor. If he can take a step forward in his 3rd off the bench, I think he could be tough to withstand.
In the flow of the race, Metagooch will probably be pace or part of the pace for sure in
I
here.
would say that.
Extremely sharp fractions, 2 back of the dirt at Delaware with a 3-length score. A winner out of that race, Augustine Red. 5th place finisher, came back to win. So as part of the pace flow, you might want to look to at great quality. But I think he might be kind of lost in the chase out there, chasing Metagooch. And from slightly off the pace, El Divino Nino can do it, as can your horse, as can the Wolfman. But El Divino Nino faced 2 sharp horses, last 2 runs at Penn National at Delaware, last race the winner. Now 6-time winner for this year, and Chipotle, the horse that he ran against 2 back, has won 3 races in a row. Gets a better spot here at Timonium, and probably a good pace flow to set it up right off the pace for him.
We've talked about Chipotle a little bit. He's won 5 of 6 this year. The only race he didn't win was the Chick Lang Stakes, which pretty tough company. So he's if you're going to run close to him, you're going to do something. So 6-2-1-4 for me, 4-2-3-1 for Mr. Rodman in the 7th. Finally, we're going to finish things up with a 5,000 beaten claimer going 6.5 furlongs. No scratches, no changes. Everything remains as is. In this one, your morning line favorite is the 7-horse Bandit's Golden Child. I'm going to try to beat this one, and I think you're going to try to beat this one.
I like Kissling in this spot. Almost singled him in that final leg of the pick 4. 1 for 1 at Timonium off of sharp sprint victories back-to-back at Charlestown. And the distance shouldn't be a problem for him at all. I've seen him run across town at Laurel, where he sits right off the pace. Good race behind Tiny Lake back in January. Would put him right in the spotlight, perhaps in the winner's circle today. He beat a little bit risky that day, who comes in as a first-time gelding this afternoon. But just as kind of a safety play in here at a price to conclude my wager, I used for Colorfield in the mix from a low percentage barn. But I did see some races back at Indiana and Belterra that intrigued me. Form's been off and on since switching barns, but he did kind of wake up a little bit, though, on a sloppy track at Charlestown to run 3rd last time out. So a little bit of didn't know what to do with him, and I knew he'd probably be double digits on the board, so I kind of threw him in the mix. In the mix. Bandit's Golden Child there. Let's see, who you got, the 5?
I got the 5 on top, a little bit risky. This one arrives off a win. I thought this was fascinating. I gelded him off the win. I thought that was a very good performance last time out for Katie Keel, Matilda Burnham up. Of the 4 horses to run back, 3 of them finished 1st, 2nd, or 3rd in their next start, so it's coming back as a productive heat. If this one moves forward off that race, which in theory could on the first time gelding, could be tough in here.
And note that he ran against 0 Blitz out of the race in which he was claimed April 18th. That was a tough race. 0 Blitz, 4 of 8 this year, and off the board in that race was Fritz's horse's name, Freedom. Is it Freedom Stance?
Maybe.
Anyway.
Maybe. Horse.
Freedom something.
I love that horse.
I think it's Freedom Stance. 3 of 5 in 2025. So real salty race back in April for a little bit risky. I think he'll be part of the pace flow here around the 3/8 pole. He'll be prominent. Comes back as a gelding, like you say, right off the claim. Not enough evidence to give you like the mega stat we did on Hugh McMahon with the gelding yesterday for this particular barn with a small number of horses, but it worked yesterday in the finale for Hugh McMahon.
All right. You want to say anything about Bandit's Golden Child? You had started to.
Again, we're referring to a stat earlier for this particular barn. The past 2 years off of this kind of layoff, the victories have been a little bit light.
Yeah.
I have a very important phone call coming in, so let's wrap it up.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding.
I know, but we got to wrap it up anyway because we got to do scratches and changes and get to business here. So Dave's going with
my birdie's calling me to tell me the scoop.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, we love the scoop.
All right.
So Dave's going with the 2. I'm going with the 5, 2-7-4-5, 5-2-7-6 in race 8. 8-race program here at Timonium. We're 25 minutes to post. Our second to last day at the Big T, another picture-perfect day. So come on out and join us. Some great betting races today. We can have a lot of fun. So 25 to post. Good luck today, everybody.
Yeah, good luck. Good morning and welcome to Timonium. Track is fast. Temperature 71 degrees. Here's a look at your Timonium program changes. To kick off the card, the opener at a mile, scratch 4, overly critical. Overly critical. Number 4 out of the first race. Second race, no changes. Third, all clear with no changes. Same in race 4, no changes. Fifth race, scratch number 5, rocking to home. In the sixth, scratch 1A, TikTok Daddy, part of the entry. Seventh race, scratch 5, straight to water. Eighth race, no changes. The track is fast, 23 minutes to post time. Good luck today here at the Timonium races at the Maryland State Fair.
summer's almost over.
But there's lots of end of summer fun at Toyota's National Sales Event.
Go long! Yes. Time right! Manny drops back and he flips one right down the middle. Well done. No, this one's burning.
Buy a spacious Grand Highlander with special financing as low as 4.99%. Or get low APR financing on an adventure-ready RAV4.
Come in today.
Great job, rookie.
Toyota, let's go places.
Semi-quincentennial. It stands for something very powerful. 2.5 centuries of legacy, of civic spirit, and people striving to serve, include, and inspire. The Maryland 250 Commission honors that legacy. So as we mark the semi-quincentennial, we know that the next chapter is ours to write. Happy 250th, America, and here's to the next 250 together.